Okay, so I'm here to talk to you all today about competitive swimming and the different components and aspects of that. So I wanted to start off with asking you all, what do you guys think goes into a swim race? I mean, what are the different strokes and events and components that go into constructing a swim meet? I mean, sure, you see them on the Olympics, you see Michael Phelps swimming, but many spectators go to these events and they get confused because they simply just don't understand the level of difficulty or the significance of any particular race or event. I mean, do you guys feel the same way? Because many people, when they come to these events, don't understand the significance. And so what I wanted to talk to you all today about is the different kinds of regulation strokes in a swim meet. And I also wanted to discuss the different types of events, and then finally, different racing styles, because there are different racing styles depending on what event you're doing. And so, because so many people are confused, I wanted to ask anyone in here, what is this? Wrong. Does anyone have an adequate answer? What would a swimmer call this? This is not. No, this is what is considered a drag suit. If you called this a swimsuit to a swimmer's face, you would most likely be mocked. Now, I say that simply to illustrate the fact that many people don't understand the complex components of swimming. So I wanted to start off by looking at the different strokes. Many of you are familiar with side stroke or different life-saving strokes that they often teach in public schools and safety courses. But I wanted to discuss with you the 4 strokes that have been determined to regulate competition swimming. And first we have to realize that races and events are going to vary and be different depending on which stroke that you swim during a swim meet. Also, you have to take into consideration that different swimmers will dominate at different swim meets, and we'll look at that more later. And also realize that there are 4 strokes, and I'm going to go over that with you. Most of you are probably familiar with the freestyle, or some call it the front crawl. This is the most common and easy stroke, and many beginners start off with this stroke. There's also the backstroke, which many of you are also familiar with. It's also rather easy, but it gives you a good workout. The breaststroke you may be less familiar with. It is more difficult stroke. It focuses on movement and motion and gliding, and has different aspects. And then finally, there's the butterfly. The butterfly is considered by many to be the most difficult stroke because of the way that you have to swim. And as I cited from healthguidance.org, FINA is the organization that has determined which of these 4 strokes will be used in regulation meets. And you have to realize that they are standard and are used across the board whenever on any swimming event. So let's look at different events now. Understanding the events and how they vary is crucial to your understanding of how a swim meet is run. For one, they are not the same. I quoted from the Athletic Scholarships website for swimming and diving. The Olympics have now developed 32 swimming races, 16 for men and 16 for women. In track, you have a couple. You have short and long distances, but there are several different events that make up a swim meet that we're going to explore. Realize that they have very distinct characteristics. You can have events that focus on one stroke, where you swim the whole stroke the whole way, or you could have a mixed event, which is commonly referred to as the medley event. You can have a distance swim, where you have to swim great distances ranging usually from 200 meters to 500 meters. Then you also have sprints, which would be short, 50 to 100 meters. And you also have group events or individual events where swimmers are either swimming like with other people or by themselves. And like I was saying earlier, not every swimmer can swim every swim event. I myself, I was a swimmer in high school, captain of my swim team, and I specialized in doing butterfly. I would do long distance butterfly, which involved 200 meters. I would do the medley relay, which involved the 50-meter butterfly sprint, and I'd also do another sprint of 100 meters for butterfly. And realize that swimmers are selected to swim certain events based on their build and their trial times, which coaches determine to practice ahead of time. And then finally, I wanted to look at different racing styles. Realize that not every race is going to be swum the same way from start to finish. They require different approaches. Sprints are fast. You start off fast. You go off the block as quickly as you can. You start kicking as soon as you get in the water. Exit your streamline and you go as fast as you can the whole way. Now, distance swimming, however, is different. They're longer. You can't sprint the whole way. You're going to sink to the bottom of the pool. The lifeguard's going to have to jump in and save you. You can't do that. So what you have to do is you have to pace yourself. Long distance swimmers require you to start off slow and then build speed and finish strong at the end of the race. And many times coaches will use drills and in practice to prepare swimmers for the different types of events they have to prepare. And I cited that from triathlon training schedule, which is posted online. And then, so I wanted to conclude with this. I want you to remember the main points. Remember that there are 4 strokes that are allowed in a competition swim meet. There's the freestyle, there's the backstroke, there's the breaststroke, and there's the butterfly. Remember that swimmers have different strengths and weaknesses, and the coaches will use that to determine which events there are. Remember how events are broken down. And then finally, remember that not every single event is different and have different levels of significance and difficulty, which are used to assign different point values. And so you have to remember all of this when evaluating a swim